Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Flavia Sierra, holistic therapist and energy medicine practitioner, mindfulness teacher, and self healing mentor. And I am delighted to be here with you today to explore a topic that I believe is one of the most important skills we can develop in today's world: practical mindfulness. I myself, through many years, developed a method called quantum neurointegration mindfulness. And I have been witnessing a lot of literally miracles in people's lives through the practice of this method. Over the last decade, mindfulness has become a very popular topic. We hear about it in books, podcasts, wellness programs, leadership trainings, and workplace initiatives. Yet, despite all the attention it has received, many people still misunderstand what mindfulness actually is. When most people hear the word mindfulness, they immediately think about meditation. And by thinking about meditation, they picture someone sitting quietly with her eyes closed or they are closed, breathing deeply, disconnected from the demands of everyday life. And while meditation can certainly be a powerful mindfulness practice, mindfulness itself is much bigger than meditation. And that is exactly what I would like us to explore today. Because practical mindfulness is not about escaping reality. It is about becoming more present within reality. A few years ago, I noticed something interesting in my own life. I realized that I could be sitting with someone I genuinely cared about and suddenly become aware that I had missed part of the conversation. Not because I didn't want to listen, not because I did not care, but because my mind had wandered somewhere else. Perhaps I was thinking about a project I need to finish. Perhaps I was replaying a conversation from earlier in the day. Perhaps I was already mentally preparing for tomorrow. My body was present, but my attention was somewhere else. The more I observe this, the more I realize how common it is. Many of us spend our days physically present, but mentally absent. We attend meetings while thinking about emails. We answer emails while thinking about deadlines. We have conversations while preparing our next response. We eat meals while scrolling through our phones. We drive from one place to another and barely remember the journey. Life becomes a series of automatic behaviors, and that is where practical mindfulness becomes so valuable. Practical mindfulness is the application of present moment awareness to everyday real world activities. It is the ability to intentionally bring awareness to what is happening right now while fully engaging in the responsibilities, challenges, opportunities, and relationships that make up our daily lives. Notice that this definition does not mention sitting on a cushion. It does not require a retreat. It doesn't require a special clothing. It does not require hours of practice. Practical mindfulness can happen during a meeting. It can happen while listening to a colleague. It can happen while making a decision. It can happen while preparing dinner. It can happen while speaking with your children. It can happen while driving home after a long day. Mindfulness is not something separate from life. It is a way of experiencing life more fully. One of the reasons mindfulness has become so important today is because modern life constantly pulls us away from the present moment. We live in a world designed to compete for our attention. Notifications, emails, text messages, social media, new alerts, deadlines, responsibilities, requests, and expectations constantly demand our focus. Many people begin in the day reacting before they have even had an opportunity to think intentionally. The nervous system becomes overloaded. Attention becomes fragmented. The mind jumps continuously between the past and the future. Eventually, many people find themselves feeling mentally exhausted, emotionally reactive, and disconnected. The challenge is not that people are unwilling to be present. The challenge is that modern life constantly trains us to be somewhere else. We worry about what might happen tomorrow. We replay what happened yesterday. We mentally rehearse conversations that have not occurred. We revisit conversations that are already over. Meanwhile, the present moment, the only place where life is actually happening, receives very little attention. This is why so many people feel overwhelmed even when they are accomplishing a great deal. Their attention is scattered or in multiple directions, and attention is one of our most valuable resources. But before we continue, I think it is important to clarify something that often creates a confusion. Let's talk about what mindfulness is not. Mindfulness is not emptying our mind. Many people believe they are failing at mindfulness because thoughts continue to appear. Well, let me tell you something. Thoughts are supposed to appear. They will never go away, thank God. The goal is not to stop thinking. The goal is to become aware of your thinking. Mindfulness is not positive thinking. It doesn't require pretending everything is wonderful. It does not require denying challenges or difficulties. Mindfulness simply invites us to see reality more clearly, not to deny it, just see it. Mindfulness is not avoiding emotions. In fact, it often helps us become more aware of our emotions. The difference is that we learn to observe emotions without becoming completely controlled by them. Mindfulness is not becoming passive. It doesn't mean accepting everything without action. Instead, it helps us respond more effectively because we see situations with greater clarity. And perhaps most importantly, mindfulness does not mean being calm all the time. We're humans. Good news. There will still, be so stressful days. There will be difficult conversations. There will still be uncertainty. The goal is not permanent calmness. The goal is awareness. When we begin developing mindfulness in daily life, several important changes start to occur. The first is emotional regulation. Many people spend their lives reacting automatically to whatever they feel. If they feel frustrated, they react. If they feel anxious, they react. If they feel criticized, they react. Mindfulness creates a pause between the experience and the response. Here is the experience. Here is the response. They might look like this, but believe me, there's always a pause in between. Within that pause, choice becomes available. Instead of immediately reacting to an upsetting email, we pause. Instead of becoming defensive during a conversation, we listen. Instead of allowing emotions to drive our behavior unconsciously, we become aware of them and choose how we want to respond. We literally have a choice every moment. This ability alone can transform relationships, leadership, communication, and decision making. The second benefit is mental clarity. When our minds are constantly occupied by worries, distractions, and mental noise, it becomes difficult to focus. We become busy without necessarily being effective. Mindfulness helps us return attention to what is actually happening now. As that attention stabilizes, clarity increases. Decisions become easier. Focus improves. Creativity expands. And we often discover that many of the problems we were carrying mentally were not actually happening in the present moment. The third benefit is improved relationships. One of the greatest gifts we can offer another person is our full attention. Yet, in today's world, attention has become increasingly rare. Most people listen while simultaneously thinking about what they want to say next. Most people hear words without fully hearing the person. Mindfulness helps us become more present in conversations. It allows us to listen more deeply, understand more clearly, communicate more effectively, and build stronger connections based on genuine presence. The fourth benefit is improved performance. This is one of the reasons mindfulness has become increasingly relevant in organizations and leadership development programs. Many people assume performance improves through constant effort, speed, training, and pressure. And sustainable performance often comes from clarity rather than intensity. When people are more present, they make fewer mistakes, they communicate more effectively, they manage challenges more skillfully, they recover from setbacks more quickly, they become less reactive and more intentional. In other words, mindfulness is not simply a wellness tool. It is also a performance tool. Let me share a simple workplace example. Imagine an employee receives an email from a manager that feels critical. The employee immediately feels frustrated. Without pausing, they write a defensive response and hit send. Then the manager reacts. The conversation escalates. Tension increases. Trust decreases. Now imagine that same situation through the lens of mindfulness. The employee notices the emotional reaction, and instead of responding immediately, they pause. They take 3 slow breaths. They try to build, to get the perspective. They read the email again. They recognize that part of the reaction may be coming from assumptions rather than facts, or from any personal concerns we have in that moment and the emotions that are governing ourselves in that instant. And they choose to respond thoughtfully instead of reactively. The outcome becomes completely different. The situation itself did change. The awareness brought into the situation changed. And that is the power of practical mindfulness. The beautiful thing about mindfulness is that it doesn't require dramatic changes to our lives. It begins with very small moments of awareness, repeated consistently throughout the day. Let me share 3 simple practices that anyone can begin using immediately. The first is what I call the conscious pause. Before entering a meeting, before responding to a message, before making an important decision, simply pause and take 3 slow breaths, but authentically slow. Slow looks like that's just the first one. Make 3 of them. Those few seconds can interrupt automatic behavior and bring awareness back online. Those simple breaths. The second practice is single task awareness. Choose one activity each day and give it your full attention. Whatever it is, drink your coffee or your tea without checking on your phone. Just being present, sensing it, feeling or getting the aroma or the warmth of your cup, whatever it is. Listen during a conversation without preparing to respond, just until the other person finishes. Write one email without switching between multiple tasks. From beginning to end, just being present in the email you are sending or you are preparing. For just a few minutes, practice doing one thing at a time. This strengthens the mind's ability to focus intentionally. That's a training, that's a muscle training there. The third practice is a simple question. Several times throughout the day, ask yourself, what is happening inside me right now? Notice your thoughts, notice your emotions, notice sensations in your body, notice your energy level. This simple question often reveals patterns that were previously operating outside conscious awareness. And awareness is where the transformation begins. As we come to an end of our time together, I would like to leave you with one final thought. Meditation is a valuable practice. It can help us cultivate awareness. It can help regulate our nervous system. It can strengthen our ability to focus and be present. But meditation is not the final goal. The goal is not to become a master in meditation or to meditate better. The goal is to live better, to become more present in our relationships, more intentional in our decisions, more aware of our emotions, more focused in our work, and more connected to ourselves and the people around us. Mindfulness becomes truly transformational when it leaves the meditation cushion and enters everyday life. When it becomes present in meetings, present in conversations, present in the ordinary moments that ultimately shape the quality of our lives. Because practical mindfulness is not about withdrawing from reality. It is about showing up fully for reality. One conversation at a time, one decision at a time, one breath at a time. And often the most meaningful transformations do not begin with dramatic changes. They begin with one baby step, one single moment of awareness. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this conversation inspires you to bring a little more presence, intention, and awareness into your daily life and work. Because every moment we become more present is a moment we become more available to the life we are actually living. Until next time.